Well, hello there everyone. This morning I'm coming to you with a very quick flip through video of one of my quote journals. This one is completely full except for the back page, but there is a story behind there, so I'll tell you that in just a bit. Anyways, I finished this quote journal. It roughly has about 6 months worth of quotes, and the reason why I wanted to do this little quick flip through is because I'm giving away this journal to some lucky person. I recently hit a 10,000 followers milestone on Instagram, and to me that's pretty huge. So I decided to, as a thank you, to give away this journal. I had asked a few of you on my last video, or I had asked all of you, not just a few of you, on my last video, what your thoughts about me giving away a journal like this one. It was kind of hard to wrap my head around it because I didn't want to send the wrong message, you know, but it's not really a personal journal. It has quotes, and we all love quotes, so I thought that that would be a great idea, maybe to share with someone. You will be able to see some of my techniques and maybe try to apply some of these to your own design. And so anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. I will be giving away this journal on my Instagram, so if you would like to participate in the giveaway, it started yesterday. Today is Tuesday, and I started the giveaway yesterday, Monday the 23rd, and it's gonna go on until Friday the 27th, and I will announce the winner on Sunday the 29th. So here we go. I'm just gonna quickly go over what I did and some details that you might be interested in knowing. So this is the list of quotes that I will be working for the entire year. If you know about my quote journals, before I used to do them just random. Now I categorize them into themes, and so I specifically focus on those types of quotes for that theme. So for the month of July, it is freedom, and I did finish with one freedom quote, and my new journal is starting now with again, freedom. And I'm going to cheat and show you the very first quote in the new one. So this will be starting July, and it will end in December, hopefully. So here is the first quote that I added to this new journal, and so these two would have been a set. First 6 months, second 6 months of the year, but I'm giving this one away, and I am okay with only having half a year worth of quotes. I think it's totally worth it. I do have a process video on this one, and I should be working on this as soon, very soon. But I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek at my new journal. Now getting back to this one here are the 12 months for whoever wins this, if they want to continue, they can go ahead and pick up wherever I left off, which is the month of July and its freedom. Here I added a little journaling card with a quote by Ronald Dahl. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it. Very appropriate, I think. So I'm going to tell you really quick who the maybe the papers and a very quickly techniques on what I did. So this one here is the line of papers that I use are by Make a Pretty Life, and I am one of the design teams for Jody and her website. She also has Fancy Pants. So if you want to check that out, that's what that is, this whole collection. I printed the quote on one of the pieces of paper and then cut it out as a tag. Over here on this side, I'm using a lot of the Reset Girls digital images. I am also part of the Reset Girls design team. And there is a process video for this layout here. I will try to link all of the process videos, I guess, of each of the pages that there is a video of. In this process video, you could see kind of quickly how I print on specific shapes my quotes. So in this case, this little pocket here, and then I cut it out. And then the background paper is by Felicity Jane. So in this case, there's the little butterfly, and my one thing I always do is I try not to stick them all the way through, only put a little bit of glue in the center so that the little wings puff up. On this over here, sometimes I decide to create a design per page, meaning here is one design, here is the other one. And you'll see in other pages, I just go all the way across and create the layout, both pages as if they were one. So this over here, a lot of it is by the Reset Girl. These two stickers are by Heidi Swap, and these were stickers, so that's why I couldn't pop up the wings. There is some stamping on the background over here, and I believe that is gelatos on the background rubbed on with a wet wipe. To get that watercolor effect. On this side, this is all by Felicity Jane. That was a brand new kit I had just received, and I loved everything about it. So that's what this is. There is a little mistake here. When I was working on another page, a little bit of paint got on that. So, but it still looks beautiful. Luckily, it's a dark color. It matched the background. So that's my story. Sometimes if something happens, whether the page got a little warped or something, I glued both pages together. One, it makes the paper a lot thicker and it withstands a lot more of the paint. And other times it just kind of helps to glue them together. So that's what happened here. So here is one example of those designs where I used the entire, both pages as a blank canvas. This is a lot of mixed media. Here are my little butterflies again, and the little wings are popping out. There is a process video on this, and there's a lot of stamping. There is some tissue paper. Oh, by the way, the cover over here, that is also tissue paper. I hand drew the little dandelions, and there's just a few layers here using just paper and vellum, and then more stamping. Then on this one here, this is paper. The paper itself, it was a paper pack by Die Cuts with a View. It's a floral paper pack. Every single page has flowers, and so I went ahead and chose some large flowers and fussy cut them. I use a watercolor technique on the back. I don't know it. I call it the drip watercolor. I just kind of saturate the brush with a lot of watercolor and just kind of add it to the top and kind of move the journal. Or sometimes I use a straw and blow on it on the water so that it creates that effect. There is no process video for this one. Sorry, there is a process video for this one here. I used transparencies on to write down the quotes, and I'm having a crack up because this is the second time I am recording this video, because after I edited the first time, it was hilarious. I was so into talking to you, and then I got to another page where I used transparency as well, but instead of saying, oh, I type the quote onto a transparency, I said parentheses. Oh my gosh, I was cracking myself up because I was so nonchalant, just kept on talking and never even realized that I had used the wrong word. Once again, here is a couple more butterflies and some enamel dots. So I got to put two of my favorite things on this one. And then I puffed a few of the flowers with some of that puffy double-sided tape. Here is another double spread. There is a process video for this one. I was going for a underwater effect. The art of being happy lies in the power of extracting happiness from common things. meaning even the little things can make you happy if you realize that. So a lot of stamping, a lot of watercoloring. Actually, no, I don't think there is some painting, but most of the background is sprays. And like I said, there is a process video for this one. I hand drew the little sand dollars and also some of the little bubbles, but I used some enamel dots and a few little stars here to give it that more of a ocean theme effect. This here is just a little banner, little bunting, I think they call it. I don't know why, but I was trying to do the same effect here with my butterflies with this heart, where they're not completely glued on. And this whole entire kit is also by Felicity Jane. There is a few little enamel triangles. The way I printed the quote is what I call a paper on paper or tone on tone, which means I typed and printed the quote on the same paper as the background, and then just did an outline of black pen around it. These are two very beautiful quotes, even though there's two quotes, even though there is one cohesive layout versus this one here where there's just one quote. And then, okay, so this is where I stitched the book. I went ahead and punched 3 holes and then stitched it together to make sure it doesn't come apart. This is one of my favorite layouts here. The process of this mixed media. Oh, there is a process. Sorry, I keep forgetting. There is a process video for this one. There is a process video for this one as well. And there is so much texture and so much stuff going on here. This beautiful lattice stencil, I used some modeling paste and I rubbed it with some black ink so it would stand out. There is some stamping going on. The quote itself, I hand wrote it on a piece of canvas. You can find canvas at Joann's. The background paper here is by Webster's Pages. And then again, there's just a lot of stamping going on and a lot of inks, spray inks and watercolors. There's always, gesso is always the first layer. There is a little bit of warping, but I like that. It's like when you add tea dyes or tea staining to your paper and it adds that crinkly sound. A lot of people like that. I kind of like it too. So but there isn't a lot of crinkling and warping when you add gesso as your first layer. This here is, but everything is also by Felicity Jane. I'm surprised there's a lot of Felicity Jane going on over here. And I went ahead and just covered the background paper with some of her patterned paper. Fussy cut some of the flowers and these beautiful little polka dot enamel hearts to add just a little bit, you know, more cuteness to the page, more polka dots, because you can never have enough polka dots, or black and white stripes for that matter. The quotes were printed on vellum, and I used this specific tape runner or glue runner thingy that it's specifically for vellum, so it's supposed to hide the glue. You can't see it. There is a process video for this layout here. I love it. I love this. I'm sorry, this little die cut here. I drew this on my computer and then enlarged or made it really thick and then uploaded it to my Cricut machine and saved it, and then I am able to cut it. Like, you know, there's a lot of people use the silhouette. I use my Cricut machine. It kind of does the same thing, and so that's how I cut these circles, messy circles. So the quotes themselves, I think this is when in the other video I said, oh, I printed these on parentheses, and oh my gosh, I don't know how I totally missed that, but on transparencies. I printed these on transparencies and added them using, on this side, little stapler, and on this side, because I had this going around and this flower here, I actually used some glue because it was going to get hidden behind that. So again, this is mixed media. There's some old paper, old book paper on the background. So I tear up a page from an old book and then adhere it. So there's some stamping going on, and the papers here, the flowers themselves, are from a collection by Simple Stories. And that's that. This is one of my most favorite layouts and designs. The background is polka dot tissue paper. The flower, the gorgeous flower here are I cut it up from a 12 by 12 paper. It's from crepe paper and design, a paper line design by Maggie Holmes. Beautiful, gorgeous, large. I saw it, and can you believe how perfectly it fit in this spread here? I was just shocked that the size was perfect. You know, you can always trim little pieces here and there to fit large images like this. That's another thing that I've been trying to work with. A lot of times we find it hard to use large pieces of ephemera on our pages. This is my third technique. There's 2 other pages, and I'm not sure. One of them is in the flip through that I did for that junk journal that I gave away. You see that big huge butterfly that I put in the center, and then I did another layout using one of the Risa girls huge roses right in the center. So anyways, the butterflies are also part of the Maggie Holmes collection, and because the background of the 12 by 12 had pink, I ended up using this quote in pink, and it said, "Don't wait until you have reached your goal to be proud of yourself. Be proud of every step you take towards reaching that goal." And oh my gosh, I love that quote, and I love this layout. If you go on my Instagram, this is the page that I use, or that I show when I introduce the giveaway. So if you find this photo in there, that is where you will find how to enter on the giveaway. So I love this page, and of course I added as many butterflies as I could, and you can see how they look like they're just flying off the page there. Okay, I love it. I don't love it. I am still not sure. There's parts of this page that I love, but hey, you know what? This is how it came out, and I should just say that I love it regardless. I think what my eyes are fighting about is the colors. I don't think that they're, I don't know, but this section right here, right there, that little corner is beautiful. And this flower here is beautiful. It's a combination of watercolor, a little bit of stamping on the background, and then some doodling around and doodling within the flowers themselves. But the quote itself is amazing. I just hand wrote it on a journaling card. It says, "My goal is to be better." See? "My goal is to be better than I was yesterday, to improve myself, to enrich my life. I am running my own race. I compete with no one but myself. This is my journey." That's my story on that. And we get to the end of the book. This is another of my awesome, most favorite layouts. I love it. A lot of you loved it. There is some people that already show me how they scrap lifted this technique and used it. The new technique I use here, it's using a magazine cutout. And if I showed you the stock of items that I've already been cutting out from magazines because I just fell in love with it. I have tons and tons of magazines, and I hate to throw them away. I really do, but I always try to find. I don't buy them anymore. Some of them are given to me. Some are all scrapbooking subscriptions that from long time ago. And so anyways, I found this girl. This is when I got to July, and we talked about freedom. That's the theme for July. And so I wanted a girl that kind of show as, you know, she was feeling free, or if you saw her, it gave you that impression. So this is the girl that I use. I added some wings here. I cut the butterfly in half and parted it like this. You know, they're not right next to each other. And this is also part of the Maggie Holmes collection, that same one that I was using here. And I put a little flower on her head. I painted her dress. And you can find more details obviously on the process video, but I just absolutely love how she turned out, how the flowers turn out, and the quote itself, may my heart be brave, my mind fierce, and my spirit free. And so gorgeous, gorgeous. I love it, the colors and everything. And that is the end of the book. The Traveler's Notebook itself is by Webster's Pages, if you can see that there. And the reason why I have left this page blank is because now that I've decided to give this journal away, I will write a message, maybe another quote, and just something nice over here for whoever wins it. So the giveaway goes on for a whole week. Started yesterday, Monday, July 23rd. It goes on until Friday, July 27th. And I will announce the winner on Sunday, July 29th. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you have any questions about anything that you saw here, let me know. I will not be putting a supply list because it would be forever and ever and ever. So, but if there's something specific that you want to know, let me know and I will find out. If there is a process video on some of these, then the list of supplies is there. And from now on, I will be stitching my books ahead of time, especially the books where I use a lot of mixed media, because those are the ones that are getting very well handled, like this one here. So in this process video of this layout, I think I show how I stitch that. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I leave you with this quote here to give you some inspiration and to remind you to never be afraid to do the things that make you feel free. And art and creating is the one thing that makes me feel free, because it is mine and it's what comes out of my head. And I love it. I love it. Whoa, what's happening? If you could see my eyes right now, I don't know what happened there, but whoa. Anyways, I create every day because it's important to me, and I love sharing that with you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you get the chance to create and feel that same freedom. So until next time, take care.